So obviously, Tuesday night was New Year's Eve, and in New York City, Whitney Cummings joined Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen for New Year's Eve in Times Square. Now, they had umbrellas. Apparently, the plebes were not allowed to carry umbrellas since they're standing too close together. But they brought Whitney Cummings on, stand-up comic, to roast 2024. Whitney's roast of 2024. So the idea is she was going to come and do some material on the past year, but she devoted the lion's share of her airtime to basically trolling and roasting CNN itself and the sacred cows of CNN, like the Democratic Party, for one. So here she is talking about the Democrats' doomed campaign over the past year.
2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's... Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No!
There's one.
Dropping the bangers. Dropping the bangers.
Dropping the bangers, indeed. Then she went on to roast CNN's dwindling audience size here. So there's the punchline in writing. We'll let you hear it in real time here.
Because you see that Americans really are more reasonable than they would be portrayed.
Absolutely,
they're pretty great, and I'm
100%
playing bigger and bigger venues now. I thought being a mom would mean that less people will want to come see me. I'm now playing, like 3,000 seat theaters,
awesome.
Which is about the viewership of CNN these days.
Well,
Not
nice.
this show, though.
Nice.
All eyes are on this show.
Wow, you're all firing.
Andy and I had a tour. We did like 3,000 theaters. Yes.
You see, I like
changing that subject.
Trace tries to say, yeah, it's interesting. Andy and I did 3,000 seat shows as well. Now, this was apparently she also made a joke about dead presidential chefs, but this one I thought hit really hard. So I like this one. This is mentioning of the Hunter Biden laptop, but it has a little more teeth even than that.
Documentaries finally realized the only way to make money is to just make them about cheerleaders. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doc showed the girls being treated horribly, underpaid, crying. I thought I'd open a video on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh!
This is the year everyone hated the movie The Joker, but if you do love watching men descend into insanity, in a couple hours you get to watch Andy Cohen do the countdown.
So the Hunter Biden joke about underpaid girls, she's referring to that video that came out where he's haggling with the Ukrainian prostitute over the amount of drugs that she's selling him. Yeah. So that's a pretty intense joke to make on CNN. So where'd she get this material? Well, okay, so what makes this story interesting is this is a metaphor for the collapse of legacy media and the rise of the online space, because she crowdsourced inspiration for her set on X. X, no better place to ask this question. What stories did the mainstream media refuse to cover? Trump shooter, no silverware, Monsanto paying Google to skew search results, etc., etc. Notice she tweeted that out on December 30th, the day before the gig, asking for a work thing I'm doing. So she's not revealing yet that she's going to be the New Year's Eve comic act. I have a long list, but I'm sure I'm missing some. And so she crowdsources this out to X. When you finally understand the media is just the public relations operation of its corporate stakeholders, everything changes. Sometimes I feel bad for people who finally see this. It breaks your reality. Totally. She starts giving the Elon answers, the one-word answers. Insider trading with politicians. Epstein, poison food. Great. Biden sharp as attack. Totally. How Vivek became wealthy. Ooh. This guy really goes hard. Suppression of detransitioner stories and corporate influence on media coverage. And she responds to that. Oh, wow. Then she posts a video in advance of her New Year's Eve appearance where, okay, so you saw her go places that, you know, made a few hairs stand up over at CNN, especially the dig about the ratings. These media companies they do not have a sense of humor about that. That's why Anderson Cooper changed the subject. And obviously the Hunter Biden haggling with the hookers over the crack cocaine. Okay, so that had some teeth. But this is kind of revealing here as to where she didn't go and why.
Tonight's the night, CNN New Year's Eve live. I'm going to be roasting the year 2024, and I'm already starting to worry that they're going to like cut the feed halfway through. They've been cool so far, but we will see. Just know that I'm supposed to do like 8 to 10 minutes. So if they, you know, if my set is like less than 5, just know that I have been cut. I did delete the Scientology joke. I stayed away from Israel, Palestine.
I cut the Scientology joke. I mean, we know Israel, Palestine's a third rail. Scientology, you know, we hear about the influence of Scientology in show business and Hollywood and how vindictive the Scientologists can be if you cross them. She says, I cut the Scientology joke and I stayed away from Israel, Palestine.
Cut. I did delete the Scientology joke. I stayed away from Israel, Palestine. I had to say alleged for a couple things. You'll be hearing the word alleged quite a bit. We'll see. All right. Is there anything you think I have to mention that I might have not included? Now's the time, because I'm going live on CNN in like 6 hours.
So, yeah, looked kind of brave there. Looked kind of brave. Look, she landed some blows. She got some digs in. She did all right. But interesting how she says in advance, I cut the Scientology and I stayed off of Israel, Palestine. You notice that's the place nobody will go. None of these showbiz people will touch Israel, Palestine. Now, Scientology, I mean, you might have some commentary on this. That's more your beat than mine. But that's some fucked up shit, too, there. They're like, no, I won't cross the side. I'll make fun of Hunter Biden haggling with a hooker over crack prices, but I won't touch Scientology. Like, why is Scientology more of a third rail than that? That's pretty weird shit.
Well, I had not known he had been making that joke. I was speaking to him privately, Max Blumenthal. I mean, I'm not spilling the tea or anything. When we were helping them out with StreamYard and all that stuff in Chicago. And I said, yeah, you know, the way these Zionists act, it really reminds me of the Scientologists. And he said, oh, right. Yeah, I call them Ziontologists. That's exactly how they act. The way that they bully and harass anybody who tries to challenge them in order to create this chilling effect so that nobody wants to mess around with them. Now, Scientology, I don't know, man. I guess she's still in L.A. I guess they have some influence. Everybody makes fun of them now. It's not like it used to. Like God bless them, Trey Stone and Matt Parker opened the floodgates. Right. Ever since then, everybody makes fun of the Scientologists. So I don't know why she's so afraid of that. But yeah, with Israel, they act just like the Scientologists. Very similar tactics.
Yeah. So, 10 years ago, if Whitney Cummings got a gig being the comic act on CNN New Year's Eve, that would be the gig. You'd want to nail that because that's your maximum exposure. Now, and this, like I said, shows the shift from legacy media to the new, tech media, Twitter, podcasting. She uses the CNN appearance to go viral online. Right. So it shows you don't actually value the time on CNN. You just use CNN to create viral clips that you then circulate online. And it really is indicative of just how the media environment is completely turned on its head.
Sure. Well, and that I'm sure makes it more lucrative for her to go out on tour because now she goes viral online. She uses that to leverage a bigger paycheck when she books dates. That's what it's for.
Please clap.